wing in there, kind of make sure your wing is square. We get it in here. That looks pretty good. Elevator looks pretty good. We'll tweak it. We can tweak that around if we need to. If your fuse is twisted, you can tweak it. You want to be able to look at it and go, yeah, that's pretty square. Still a little off. This plane doesn't really care. All right, next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to trim back my sleeve around my push rods. Okay, your push rods come up through here. These are already installed. You want this to be about 3/8 of an inch behind the slot they put in there for the servo. So I'm going to go behind it. I'm going to use my wire cutters. Now you can use a knife or whatever. I'm going to trim these off because they're going to hit the control horn. Or yeah, they're going to hit the control horn is going to hit the sleeve when it moves back, if those are too far forward. So you want to do that. Okay, now what we're going to do, we're just going to pull the pins out of these, and don't lose this pin when you pull it out. I take a little piece or a little pair of pliers, pull that pin out. I keep it in my pliers, slide this down over the control horn. I find the hole, I take my pliers and I push it all the way through the other side, and then that's installed. I'm going to do the same thing with the rudder. I'm going to pull the pin out, slide this over the rudder. You aren't really able to see that very well, but I'll zoom in here and put this pin in, get it inside the hole. It's hard to do, trying to get it out. I dropped the pin. The pin went underneath the rudder. Okay. The pin again with my pliers. Got the pliers with a little groove in them. It really helps for holding them. Okay, we're going to do this again. Alright, you can see it kind of dropped in there. Then I take my pliers, push it through. Then I offset my bottom jaw and push it all the way through. That way it's locked in there good. Now on your push rods, I add a little bit of glue in here just to hold them stable. And if you want, you can actually push them both in just a little bit, and it just makes it line up straighter for getting your for pushing the controls back and forth. So I'll hold that for just a little bit here, and I wipe off any of my extra glue. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in my servos, which are right here, and I usually face them forward. I've already centered my servos, so I'm gonna put the servo in there on that side, and then I'm gonna run my cable on the left side of the plane, or the servo wire on the left side of the plane. Same thing on both of them. I'm gonna kind of tuck this underneath like that. All right, and then I want my servo arm forward. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift these up and glue underneath and drop them down in there, both sides, and back my arm off. Okay, and I'm going to get this side, and I'm going to drop this in there. Okay, and then make sure my servo wire is underneath my servo. Just makes it look nicer. Alright, drop it in there, and then what you can do is just put a little square of glue around the top here, and then flip your top flap over. This helps stiffen up the fuselage too. Okay, so we got that in there. Now we've got our servo arm should be centered straight up and down. Our control surfaces, we're going to twist them around till they're perfectly straight. Okay, even if you gotta put a little weight on them or something, make sure they're straight. And we'll put some weight on here to hold it for us. Okay, I'm going to take those little pair of pliers again, and I'm going to place the pliers so that the front edge of the pliers are right at the hole. And then I'm just going to bend the wire over, knock my arm off, put that back on there. Okay, so when I put this in the hole and my servos are centered, all my controls are centered. Now and what you can do is just pull this off, take and make your Z-bend here with your pliers. Okay, like that. I got a nice Z-bend in there. I can put my arm back on here, my servo arm, and put it back on my servo, put my screw in, trim my little wire, and you're pretty much set. Do the same thing on the other side. Just get it all set so that your servo and your control surfaces, your servo you want straight up and down, centered ahead of time, and then your control surface is straight. You're basically, that's about 90% done there. So now we're going to put the mount on. So you've already got holes in there that line up with the mount, and get them the best you can. Then take your screw and get it started in there. And these are like the number 2 screws. I don't think they come in the kit, but they number 2 screws work really good. Okay. Then you get all of these started in there, and then you can screw them in. You screw them in by hand. You don't have a little $9.99 electric screwdriver, then you can just screw them in by hand. Okay. Oops. Let's try that again. Okay, there we go. Then we take our motor, we put in there. We tighten up the set screws on the motor with a 1.5 millimeter Allen wrench. Okay. There we go. There's 2 of them on there. Tighten them both up. And you take the mount off too. Okay. Now we've got these are our wires for our motor. Take our 20 amp ESC, plug it in, and what I do is I glue this on right over where the landing gear goes. The landing gear goes right in front of the wing on the bottom. I already have a video on how to put your landing gear in. But all I do is glue that in, then I take my receiver, put it underneath the wing, plug in my servos, plug in my speed controller, and bind it, and you're pretty much ready to go. I mean, this is about as simple as you can get, and it's an extremely fun plane to fly. Look for the video on landing gear on the Fenix. It's a glue-in method, and you don't even really need them. I find out when you're out just having fun, if you have landing gear, that's what's going to hang up when it's in the tree. So it's fun to fly them without it. It makes a great glider, and watch the thermals because it'll take this thing away. It's a blast to fly. So return to having some fun while you're flying, and save those scale models for the beautiful days that you can fly, and build a Fenix 100 just for fun. So, all right, we'll see you on the next video.